This is actually Taoist and gods in charge. Look. I think I walk into the graveyard. Those statues are without head. It's beautiful. I got so touched. Hi, this is Shirley. Today we are at Dayuanxiang Museum. This is the biggest folk art museum in China of Ba-Shu area. Okay, let's go inside and check. There are more than 100,000 pieces of art, folk, like old stuff, like old doors, old carvings. Will be amazing. Let's check it out. This is hall number 1. This hall, they exhibit thousands of old doors, old windows from Ming and Qing dynasty. I'm talking about thousands of doors and windows just stacking, with each other. It's huge. Let's check it out. It's called like Dunhuang of wood features. This museum is private and is basically a family project. His ancestors started collecting old building parts back in the early 1900s. After over 100 years of picking stuff up, they built this massive collection. And this is actually the museum's most precious treasure. These 3 Buddha statues from China's Song dynasty. The one with the red sash in the middle is Sakyamuni, the founder of Buddhism in our world. On the left is the Buddha of the past, and on the right is the Buddha of the future. To put it simple, don't regret the past, make the most of today, and never lose hope for tomorrow. This is very cool. Inside is very quiet, but there are thousands of old doors like that. Look. It's amazing. Behind me, this is actually the door god of China. These 2 are China's famous door gods, Qing Chong and Yu Chikong. So here's a backstory. Back in the Tang Dynasty, the emperor was having these crazy nightmares, like a ghost was haunting him or something. So he couldn't sleep at all. So he asked his 2 best generals, Qing Chong and Yu Chikong, to basically stand guard outside his bedroom door all night. And guess what? It worked. He slept like a baby. But the emperor felt bad making them do that every single night. So he had artists paint their portraits. He put those pictures on doors, and that's how it became a thing. That's why we still hang them up or paint them up today, to keep the bad vibes out. This is actually Taoist and gods in charge of fortune and longevity. Fortune and longevity. The god of longevity originated from ancient star worship as a South Pole star, pictured as a white-bearded elder with a peach and a cane for long life. The god of fortune guards families against misfortune, bringing joy, safety, and prosperous offspring. People carved their images on doors, windows, elder room to pray for family blessing and long, healthy lives for senior family members. Let's keep going. Do you know why these images were carved on doors and windows? Because doors and windows are passages for fortune and evil to flow in and out of houses. People carved Buddhist and Taoist statues here to invite gods to guard their homes, ward off disaster, and bless the whole family. Most ordinary people were illiterate old days, so these carvings act as the picture textbooks to pass down traditional virtue. They also prayed for longevity, wealth, and prosperous descendants. In addition, exquisite carvings show the family's wealth and taste. Hollow design let gula flow into the house and drive away bad energy, preventing wealth from escaping. They keep rooms well ventilated and bright while protecting privacy.
I've restored this antique painting so everyone can see the heavenly official in the artwork much more clearly. Right in the middle is the heavenly official. He wears official ancient Chinese robe and holds a banner with a blessing phrase. This classic pattern means heaven sends good luck and happiness to the whole family. You can also see 5 bats carved around this central figure. In Chinese, the word for bat sounds exactly the same as the word for blessing. These 5 bats stands for 5 great blessings. A long life, healthy life, financially comfort and wealth, physical wellness, plus inner peace, being a kind and a virtuous person, a peaceful natural passing in old age. The blooming flower patterns around the edge symbolize lasting wealth and endless good luck for generations. Oh, this is such a fascinating traditional Chinese painting of Zhonghui catching evil spirits. Zhonghui was a talented Tang Dynasty scholar. He got a top exam score but lost his official position for his fierce look, then took his own life out of humiliation. Later, he appeared in Emperor's dream to drive away evil ghosts and cured Emperor's strange illness. Since then, people hang his portraits, ward off evil, and pray for safety. He carries a magic sword to kill harmful demons directly. And where do we hang Zhonghui's portraits? Man gates, of course. Block evil spirits and bad luck from your room. Tips: most family use door guards here. Choose Zhonghui if you often have conflicts or like illnesses. And also indoors, kitchen and balcony doors, clear gloomy energy and protect your family. In ancestral halls, old warehouses, shops, and offices, word of villains, safeguard wealth and bring stable fortune. And note, never hang it in bedroom, as his powerful energy may disturb your sleep. The spirit table comes from warring states of Confucian thought and was found in nearly every home in the Qing dynasty. Carved top to bottom on it are these 5 words: heaven, earth, ruler, ancestors, teachers. These laid out the core social structure of ancient China. The order totally tracks. Heaven and earth give us everything we need to live. Leaders keep society running smoothly. Our folks raised us, so we owe them our respect and devotion. Teachers show us right from wrong. For thousands of years, Chinese folk were raised with one mindset: the person puts their family first, and every family stands with the nation. The ingrained way of prioritizing the group makes collectivism feel completely intuitive. That's exactly why socialism caught on and settled in so easily here once it arrived. So the long-standing set of values still holds huge weight today. It dictates how China government operates, how the whole country unites as one, and how we advance as a nation. It's also the cultural backbone that let us pull all our resources together to tackle major projects and keep progressing steadily side by side.
There's a little classroom over there. Look, it's beautiful, isn't it? My husband, he's doing, he's taking a picture. I think I walk into the graveyard. What am seeing here is actually ancestors' spirit table. It's very quiet here, and I feel a little bit spooked. Okay, let's go inside and check. These are ancestral spirit tables. Basically, they're not just pieces of wood. They present our whole philosophy on life and death. First, it's about honoring your roots. We believe that even after someone passed away, the family bonds never break. These plaques are our way of showing respect and saying, you're still part of this family.
Second, they act as bridges between worlds. We believe the soul need place to check in when we talk to them. So by burning incense and praying in front of them, we feel like we are actually talking to grandpas, grandmas. Another fun thing to point out is nowadays when Chinese people come to honor their ancestors, they bring paper offerings instead of firecrackers. They believe this lets ancestors come collect the paper money, and while their forebears pick up the offerings, people also ask them to grant all their real life wishes, like bless them with good health, more money, safety, and stuff like that. It's super down to earth, right? Nothing comes for free for our ancestors. This is probably just a big culture difference. I think Western society have always focused way more on individual freedom. They don't have those Thai multi-generation clan bonds like we do here in China. That's why I think they never really built up like traditions of passing down ancestral worship or keeping spirit tables in their home for hundreds of years like we do. Even Confucian's values and big family traditions made Chinese ancestors table a must back then. But these days, most Chinese family don't keep those tables at home anymore. Most people live in small city apartments with no extra room for a shrine. Plus, modern science changed how we think. Fewer folks believe ancestors' spirit really live on wooden tables. We still deeply respect our ancestors, of course, but we use simpler way to honor them. For example, visiting graves on Thanksgiving Day. Do you see these little statues next to the spirit tables? They're not just decorations. They act like a GPS or a chaperone for the ancestors. The idea is that when someone passes away, their soul might get lost trying to find the afterlife. So these little gods are there to guide them and make sure they get to the right place safely. Also, it's like they are providing company. Seeing them standing or sitting next to a plaque means grandpa is not lonely over there.
Jackie Chan.
Yes, I saw Jackie Chan at a temple bowing to a plaque with the surname Pham, not Chan. I always just assumed his real name was Jackie Chan. Turn out that's just his stage name. His actually family name is Pham. And no wonder he names his son Fan Zuming. Here's the wild part. His grandpa had to skip town to avoid some major heat, so he changed the family name to Chen. Jackie was born Charles Chan, but obviously became world famous as Jackie Chan, right? Even with all the fame, when it comes to honoring his ancestors, he went back to his true root to pay respect to the Fan family. Such a cool little discovery.
There's only me here. Okay, we are entered to exhibition of stones. Let's go.
See all these headless stone gods behind me? Why are most of them missing their heads? Let me break it down for you later. Here are some cultural differences between China and Western countries in terms of worship rituals. Chinese folks lay out fruit, place money next to the statue on the altar, and burn incense at temple statues. We think gods and ancestors are just like us. They need food and cash, so we give offerings to beg for fortune. But in the West, take Christianity for example. They worship a single spiritual God who doesn't eat or need money. You won't see any fruit offerings here, but any cash you drop in a collection plate is strictly charity for the community, not a gift for God. This really gets to the heart of religious divide between East and the West. In Chinese belief, we say humans and gods are being way closer together. Western religion, on the other hand, draw a massive line between people and God. It all comes down to history. China always had a strong centralized government. Religion basically served the emperors and was never allowed to challenge the throne. For example, Medieval Europe was a mess of tiny divided states. The Catholic Church ended up being the only thing that held everyone together. Because for that, God had to be kept at a distance, way up high in a state of absolutely sanity, just to show that he was above everything earthly. That's exactly why our worship rituals are totally different. Chinese people have a very practical wishes when praying. Almost everyone hopes for three things: no sickness, enough money, and a safe life.
Which god got the most money? God of medicine. And follow me. This is Guan Yin. And this is a god of money. Those are large stone window. This huge one. Look.
This huge stone vat is known as Torsi in Old China. Its main job was fire prevention. Wooden ancient buildings were prone to fire, so the vat was kept full of water for emergency firefighting. Meanwhile, water represents wealth. It was placed here to gather good fortune for the family. Some owner also kept fish and lotus in it for decoration and blessings.
Those statues are without heads. Look. It's a little bit scary. So maybe they get stolen.
You can see this Chinese Buddha head on display at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the US. Back in those turbulent wartime years, many looters secretly chopped off these finely carved Buddha heads. They were lightweight and easy to transport, so thieves could sell them abroad for big money. The necks were the most fragile part of the statues, making them extremely vulnerable to damage. Besides theft, some statue heads were also ruined by wars, fires, earthquakes, and other natural or human disaster over time.
That's Ha focuses on like a Chinese traditional family value and like the ancestral teachings. They are get carved on like windows and like door panels. Let's go inside and check it out.
Many old Chinese houses carve family rules, poems, and wise words on door or window panels. So, what did old Chinese family carve into their homes? It boiled down to three things. First, character. Words like honesty, humility, taught us not to be arrogant and to stay grounded. Second, school. Phrases like education is way or everywhere. Back then, starting with the only ticket to moving up. Third, rules. Family unity and no gambling kept everyone in line. How does this affect us today? It's almost everywhere. We push our kids to be top students because only studying makes you noble. We see it as the whole family investment. We love saving and hate debt. That's from the old school mindset of save for a rainy day. We are modest and avoid showing off because the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. In family ties, they are super strong. Parents help buy houses, kids care for aging parents. It's a family first mentality. Today, people hand calligraphy scrolls with same message like harmony brings wealth. There's also a huge trend of rebuilding ancestral halls and updating family trees. Even business culture focuses on loyalty and team spirit. Back then, the rules were carved in wood. Now they're carved in our DNA.
So these models behind me are the two of most important Chinese values. The first is Li, the second is Ren. So Li means respect and good manners. right? And the ren means kind and love for everybody, right? So these are actually, this carving are exactly what they think about it. We're gonna set bats of hundreds of years ago. Follow me. Let's check it out. Follow me. My God, look at this gorgeous things. Look at this gorgeous bats.
These are traditional Chinese beds. We call them Ba-Shu canopy beds. Lots of delicate carving carry blessing for wealth, safety, and more children, and also show the family's wealth and high social position. The higher the family status, the larger the bed, and the more layer it has. Under old feudal rules, women were tightly confined. Wealthy young lady barely stepped outside, typically ate, rested, and lived within this bed area. Many girls had their feet bound from childhood, so they could not walk far at all. They only left their family home when they got married. This bed stood for parents' protection and love. Living it meant letting go of sheltered childhood and taking on new family roles. The best bed hung with red wedding cloth was used as the bridal bed in ancient Chinese weddings. Honestly, it gives me a little creepy Chinese horror vibe. Look how beautiful this bed is. You can easily tell it belonged to a young lady from a wealthy family back then. This bamboo bed works as a fully closed small room with all kinds of daily function. It has seats for resting, reading, sewing, and having meals, plus storage space to keep personal things. Fake curtain offer privacy and keep people warm in cold days. Most importantly, there is a special area inside the bed for a chamber pot, which is the ancient toilet. Back then, most young women had bound feet, so walking long distances was very painful and difficult. They did not need to walk outside to use the restroom. They could relieve themselves right inside the bed. Almost all day activity, including sleeping, eating, resting, and going to the toilet, could be done inside this big enclosed bed.
And we're going to see the most beautiful scenic spot of this museum. It's gorgeous, stunning. Let's check it out. This is the most beautiful spot of the whole museum. It's called Thousand Buddha Wall. Look at that. It's stunning. I'm speechless. I got so touched. Oh my God.
All these old Buddha statues are from Qing Dynasty. They're made of wood and it came from Sichuan and Chongqing. The museum owner saved them over 30 years ago. He found them in old empty temples and family halls near Three Gorges. He wanted to stop them from getting broken or lost. They're carved from local wood that bugs don't eat, like a camphor, cypress, namu, and the boxwood. They used to be very colorful with bright paint and gold ages, but after hundreds of years, color faded away. Now they just look soft, old, and a little bit worn. If you only stare at carvings, ancestral table at Chongqing's Dayuanxiang Museum, you're missing the real secret. Today, we're not just viewing old artifacts, I'll help you crack the hot and cold the ancient Chinese ruler used to govern the country. You'll finally understand why Chinese civilization has lasted for thousands of years. The answer lies in these Confucian, Taoist, and Buddhist statues.
The gate carving represents people's wish for a stable life, and the ancestral tables show Confucian value of family and order. But what surprises Westerners most is that Confucius, Lao Tzu, and the Buddha are enshrined together. Western culture believes in one single God, but ancient ruler understood one thing: you can't rule a massive empire with only one ideology. Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism are China's perfect three-pieces social governance toolkit, the core tool for national rule. More than that, they shape how every Chinese person lives today. Confucianism teaches responsibility, hard work, and family obligation. It keeps society disciplined and orderly. Taoism acts as a buffer. It teaches us to slow down, go with the flow, and balance life pressure. And Buddhism teaches us to let go when facing hardship and loss. Simply put, Confucianism helps us thrive, Taoism helps us relax, Buddhism helps us heal. This is why Chinese values are so different from Western value. Westerners are more individualistic. They prioritize personal freedom and always fight for their rights. Chinese people are group oriented. We value social stability, collective harmony. The difference was extremely clear during COVID-19 when the government gave instruction 1.4 billion people follow without argument. We put aside personal freedom to protect the whole society. That's our culture trait. Westerners fight against challenges while Chinese people adopt and move forward. This is not about which system is better or worse. They're just different choices formed by different history and national conditions.
Follow Shirley to explore more mysterious China. I'll also share some Chinese museum and cultural exhibitions in the future.